Welcome to the College Investor Audio Show, where we talk about the biggest issues impacting millennial money, from student loan debt to side hustles to building wealth. We will show you how to get out of debt so that you can build real wealth for the future.
Greetings to you, an exciting College Investor Audio Show today. We're so excited you're a part of things. Today we're looking at 10 interesting ways you can make money driving. If you have access to a reasonably reliable car, then congratulations! A decent car is the biggest asset most Americans own, other than their houses. I've seen some people try to raise fast cash by selling their cars, in fact. But what you might not realize is that there are a lot of other ways to make money using your car. If you have a car and don't mind driving it around, then you're well on your way to earning hundreds of dollars on the side every month. This has been true for decades. A paper route or a pizza delivery job has always meant using your own wheels. But the app-based gig economy and the internet generally has vastly expanded the ease of getting paid to drive your own car. Without further ado, here are some of the best ways to start making money driving your car now. If you want other money-making ideas, we have hundreds of ways, different side hustle ideas. Check it out at thecollegeinvestor.com. Okay, now, number one, ride sharing, of course. Uber is not a new company anymore, since it's been around since 2009. It's still the dominant player in ride sharing. Although the biggest competitor, Lyft, has been operating since 2012, has a reputation for being a little friendlier to prospective drivers. Many people keep both apps open, though, as a way to make more money more reliably. Cha-ching! Uber and Lyft have their downsides. You might put a lot of wear and tear on your car, for example, and there's some disturbing evidence that safe drivers earn less on the apps than people who speed. But there's no doubt that if you have the right kind of car and a clean driving record, they're very easy, reliable ways to make money driving your car. Now, they might be especially good if you're willing to drive Friday and Saturday nights in busy areas of major cities, or during rush hour, of course. You get paid per minute and per mile, and there is usually a base fare, but exactly how much can depend on what time of day it is because of surge pricing, which charges riders more during busy times of day. Uber and Lyft both have fairly stringent requirements for what kind of car you can have. It needs to be a newer car and have 4 doors, for starters, in addition to state-by-state standards. Don't have a car that meets the requirements? You can try Hire Car, Hyre Car. Now, to see Lyft's state-by-state requirements, you can see all those requirements and Uber's as well at thecollegeinvestor.com. If you only have a 2-door car, you can't use it for passengers, but you might still be able to use it for deliveries. Here's number 2, app-based delivery. That's a perfect segue, huh? These days, everyone wants food and other items delivered directly to their door. If you're willing to put the work in instead, you can spend your time listening to music while you drive food from restaurant to house. That sounds lovely, huh? Oh, the smells, too. In your car? Of course, scheduling is flexible. You choose when you sign up to deliver rather than being assigned by a manager. One of the most popular delivery services is, of course, Uber Eats. You can deliver food instead of people. DoorDash is another good app for people whose cars can't meet Uber and Lyft's requirements. You just have to be 18 with a clean driving record. You deliver food, but also other items from area stores. With DoorDash, you get paid per delivery, and you also keep the tips. One great thing about DoorDash, you're guaranteed a minimum of $10 an hour, even if business is slow enough that you wouldn't otherwise make that. Yeah! Average pay is anywhere from $10 to $20 and up to $25 an hour. Plus, as a consumer, DoorDash is my favorite food delivery service. Just saying. If you're a college student, you might try Tapingo. They focus on campus delivery. Otherwise, your options are pretty much legion. Seamless and Grubhub. If you drive for one, you drive for both. Our restaurant delivery services. All you have to do is schedule a block of time, then follow the app's directions to pick up food from various restaurants and drop it off. You get paid per delivery, and you keep the tips. If you're willing to do just a little bit more than just pick up prepackaged orders and drop them off, Instacart is another great choice. You go grocery shopping for people using their list, then drop their groceries off at their house using your car. You can make $10 to $25 an hour depending on how busy the service is when you want to work. Finally, Postmates has become very popular recently. Maybe you've heard of this. The service gives you a prepaid card you can use to buy whatever people have ordered, at which point you deliver it to them. People might order food, but they might also or maybe want some garden tools or clothes, cleaning supplies, jewelry, almost anything you could imagine. You get paid quickly by direct deposit within a week. Cool. Number 3, renting your car. We've talked about this quite a bit, but there's a few other players in town too that we want to talk about. One of the most annoying things about tying up money in major assets like a house or a car is that often they just sit while you're not actively using them. Airbnb helps you take advantage of unused bedrooms, and you can do the same with your dang car. Rent it out. Turo is another service that lets you rent your car Airbnb style. The car has to be from 05 or newer, have a clean title, and have less than 130,000 miles on it. There's a cool calculator on the site that lets you plug in some basics and find out how much you could earn. Getaround, for example, allows you to rent your car out while it could otherwise be parked. So you can not only avoid parking lot fees, but even make money. Getaround covers insurance, vents renters, and installs a device that lets people get into your car without the key. How much you can make depends on how nice your car is, but it could be thousands of dollars a year. Getaround takes 40% of rental fees and you get 60%, paid out once a month. Now, funny enough, if you have a nice car, you can rent it to rideshare drivers without driving it yourself. Hire Car lets you rent your car to Uber and Lyft drivers. The service says you can make up to $1,100 a month. Though, as usual, the exact amount depends on where you are and what kind of car you have, in addition to how often you want to make it available. Number 4, advertising. What if you don't want to put in any extra miles on your car? With the options we've talked about so far, you need to be willing to drive more than you normally would. But what if you could make money just by driving your car around like you normally do? If you're willing to put advertising on your car, turns out you can make a considerable amount. Rapify is an app-based service that lets you connect with potential advertisers. Once you sign up and download the app, the service logs where you go for a while. Then it matches you with a campaign for local or national companies and partially or fully wraps your car. Don't worry, the wraps are removable and won't damage the car. Depending on your car, your location, and how much of your car is covered, you can make $100 to $450 a month without doing anything you don't normally do. I like that one. Number 5, help people move. I lived in New York City for a long time, where I didn't have a car, and almost none of my friends did either. So when I needed to move something I couldn't carry in my backpack, I usually hired a man with a van, who was sometimes a woman with a hatchback car, from Craigslist. But I digress. You don't necessarily have to help people carry their items or have a huge car, although it might help you get hired more often. You can make $20 to $50 an hour, depending on your location and what services you can offer. If you do have a cargo van or a box truck, in addition to Craigslist, you could try apps like GoShare. Check out the new app called Dolly, too, which allows you to connect with people who are looking to have stuff moved. Everything from moving a house to picking up items from a garage sale. Number 6, be a safe driver. I bet you didn't think this one was going to be on the list, because mostly you pay your insurance company, but some companies will pay you to be a safe driver. Allstate, for example, will cut you a $50 check every 6 months you don't have an accident. Nothing to do but drive safely. Other insurance companies will give you discounts, which is a lot like free money, for safe driving. State Farm discounts insurance up to 50% if its smartphone app says you're driving safely. In other words, the app tracks some things about the way you're driving, like how fast you go and whether you come to a complete stop, and then it tells State Farm whether you're a good driver or not. You get discounts based on that info. Cool. Number 7, deliver for Amazon. Amazon Flex is Amazon's solution to one of its biggest problems. Its customers want delivery faster and faster, and the post office, UPS, and FedEx, they're just not cutting it. Because customers want stuff like within an hour or two. You can use your own car to be a courier for Amazon using Amazon Flex. You can make $18 to $25 an hour. Like with many delivery services, you schedule a block of availability. Then you pick up packages from an Amazon warehouse, and the app gives you directions for delivering them. Amazon only hires in certain markets and on a rolling basis. So for right now, just put your information in, and then Amazon will contact you when they're hiring in your area. Number 8, Elder Transit. There are a lot of people who need to get around, but who are too young or too old to drive themselves. Some elderly people use ride-sharing services normally, using their own smartphones, but others need more help. Eldercare.com and other local services in your community might help you find jobs that include transporting senior citizens in your own car. Some cities also have partnerships with Uber or Lyft to connect seniors to rides. Not to mention the amazing stories and friends you'll make. Here's number 9, nannying and babysitting. If you live on a college campus, you may have a lot of access to childcare jobs. You can advertise yourself or answer ads on your college's network. A lot of childcare jobs involve transporting kids, dropping them off or picking them up at summer camp, school, daycare, and so on. Hop Skip Drive is a service that transports kids ages 6 and up, and one of my favorite company names, by the way. Right now it operates in California and Colorado, the Denver area, and as you might imagine, there are fairly stringent requirements for potential drivers. Good. You need to be at least 23 years old, not 18, as with most driving services, and have 5 years of experience in childcare. You also need a clean driving record and need to pass a background check, which includes fingerprints and an in-person interview. I love this company. And you'll need a 2008 or newer car with 4 doors. However, if you can meet these requirements, you can make more money per hour than you do with traditional rideshare services. Up to $30 an hour. Number 10, use your car as a boost on job applications. There are hundreds of jobs that aren't app-based that nevertheless give a boost to people who have reliable cars. Some examples include delivery driver for a specific restaurant, working on a film, a music show, or something else where you can transport equipment, social worker, travel to clients' houses, nurse or occupational therapist, travel to clients' houses, event photography, catering, decorating, working for party or wedding venues, in-home hairdressing, cleaning, and any other service occupation where people might like you to come in to them rather than them coming to meet you in an office or shop. Some of these jobs require specialized skills, of course, like occupational therapy, but others are gigs you can pick up on Craigslist or other local job boards. Here's some FAQs for making money with your car. How much money can you make by driving? We get that a lot. It varies, of course, and there's a variety of apps to make money with your car, but every app is going to be different, and it just kind of depends on what city you live in and also what time you drive. What are the best apps to make money with your car? There's so many of them, and there's so many coming out like every day. Kind of hard to keep track of, but the most popular apps include Uber, Lyft, DoorDash, Postmates, which we mentioned, Shipt, which we didn't mention, but that's another one, and Instacart. Shipt and Instacart are both grocery delivery services. Can you make money without ride sharing? Yeah. You can also deliver food and products, use your car to help with moving, or even rent your car. There are tons of ways to sell advertising on your car too. Do you pay taxes on the money you make? Yep, you got to pay the taxes, and you are considered a small business if you take on these jobs, by the way. Now that means you also need to keep track of your expenses, gas, maintenance, mileage, all that stuff. You can potentially deduct these costs to offset the income you receive. Is it legal to make money with your car? We wouldn't tell you something if it wasn't. Absolutely, it's legal to make money with your car. However, keep in mind, some localities may impose restrictions, such as requiring registration or maybe even a certain licensure. So keep that in mind. Here are some final thoughts. Overall, if you already own a car, you're in a great position to pick up an easy side gig that involves driving a few hours a week. But car ownership can also give you access to other jobs that aren't driving jobs, but do depend on reliable transportation. Cars aren't investments in the way that stocks are, or even houses. They always decrease in value over time. But if you can make money using your car in the meantime, you can offset some of that depreciation and pick up some extra cash along the way. And that's all we have for you today. I hope that gave you some really awesome ideas on a really cool side gig. If you want to check out more resources, more ideas for side gigs, and links, you can find it all at thecollegeinvestor.com. Thanks again, and we'll talk to you again very soon.